Hey, what's up everyone? This is DCSG 81 and today we'll take a look at these two newly reissued s.h.figuarts Iron Man Mark 43 and Mark 45 from Age of Ultron. Okay, so this is a request from one of my viewer that he would like to know whether there's any difference between the old Mark 43 and Mark 45 as well as compared to this new reissues one. As far as I can tell, the most obvious difference is the box design, which we will look into later, but I also checked with one of the collectors who collects all the Iron Mans, and I asked him whether there's any difference in terms of the figures, and he mentioned there isn't any subtle difference, but he felt that the paint is slightly better in terms of his more glossier as compared to the old one. So let's take a look into the box design first. Okay, so as for the box design, we can see that as I mentioned earlier, is different compared to the old one. I'll show you, because I don't have the old one, so I'll show you the box images of the old one right now. You can see for Mark 43, there are differences. As for Mark 45, there are also differences with the design of the overall box. Okay, so let's come back to the new box, and you can see that it's looking very good with the figure standing here. I just love this new design even better. So you can see there's a Tamashii Nation quality sticker here, as well as this one. Okay, so it says Age of Ultron, Mark 45, Mark 43. Okay, so at the side here, there isn't any difference, just saying that there is Mark 43 and Mark 45, and here you can see a very faint images of the figure, and from here you can see, as usual, the Iron Man poses. You can see from here, I just love when they try to pose 45 just from the back. It looks badass. Okay, so let's crack these two boxes open. Okay, before we take a look at the figure itself, I would like to jump into the accessory portion, because I think it's easier to show you to you guys now, since it's still in the box. You can see they are actually having a pretty much same accessories. As you can see, even the hand are the same, except for one fact that you can see for the hands. I'll just take it one of them. Okay, before we go through that, you can see that from the hand itself, okay, from the hand itself, you have the flight pose hand, similar as this one. Okay, and then there's a relaxed hand, and of course there's a pair of fist hands that comes on the figure, and this is the beam blasting hands with the pack on it. Okay, so that you can put in the effects part. So the difference that I see between this Mark 43 and Mark 45 is the fact that whenever you change the hand for Mark 43, you have to remove this piece here. You can see where my finger pointing, this piece here, to be inserted into each and every of the hands that you are changing into. So it's a very big hassle, and it's this design, I'm not favorable to it. It's a very troublesome. Every time you change the hand, you have to remove this piece. But for Mark 45 onwards, if I'm not wrong, because I think Mark 46 also don't have this problem already. So from the Mark 45 onwards, it actually comes on each of the hands that you can see right now. So whenever you change the hand, you just pull off the hand and then just put back the new hand, because each of the hand that comes with it, so you don't have to take out and put back, take out and put back, like the older version of this. Okay, so yep, let's get into the figure. Okay, so this is the figures right out of the box. Let's take a closer look at Mark 43 first. So for Mark 43, it always seems to me that it's very similar to Mark 42, which I doesn't have. Yeah, just the paint design is different, whereby Mark 42 is actually having more of the gold element compared to the red, but for Mark 43 they just switch it over and this is what you got. That's what I always felt. Okay, yeah, so for the design, it's actually looking very good. It actually brings a bit of the matte, very matte finishing, which I really prefer because it makes the figure looks a lot more how do you put it, well done, more premium feel to it. And you can see the design of the arc reactor is actually there as well, which is very nice, I would say. And for the eyes, unfortunately they still don't try to paint it like look as if it's light up. So this is just a dark color, dark white. Yeah, it would be preferable if they paint it as blue, so it looks like it's lightened up. Okay, so for the design wise, it's looking very good. I just like the matte finishing. I'm not sure about the older version, whether it's the same, but to me this one is looking very well done. Okay, so as for Mark 45, this is the one that I always like in terms of the design. It looks very sleek, that's the way I put it. It's like you know, this portion here, it just attracts me. It looks very nice, and the overall design also, it looks very very sleek design, and it's also very glossy. This one is looking very glossy. Instead of the matte finishing on Mark 43, this is more of the glossy one. Okay, and I'm not sure why they don't have the arc reactor design here as compared to Mark 43, but this is also looking very good. Okay, yep, so far so good. It's looking very metallic, which I like. Okay, so let's go into the articulations. Okay, so for the articulation, I'll just do it on one of the Iron Man because I'm pretty sure they are both the same. So for the head wise, you can always look down a lot and looking up pretty much for the flight pose. Yep, so this is I think the basic requirement for an Iron Man. So there's a pull out options that you can see right now. You can actually pull out for more articulations, and he can actually do a 360 degree if I'm not wrong, but still very new, so it's very tight. You have to just hold close to it and don't just pull it from here. Okay, you might just break it, especially for a new figure. So let's try here. Yep, it's very tight. Yep, so you can just move around and be very careful. And this piece here is actually together. Okay, it's movable. It's a double joint elbow. Okay, and there's a swivel here as well on the ball joint. And the hands, of course, there's also movable parts, and this one is removable. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to put this on every hands that you interchange. So this is what I didn't like about the old design. Okay, the newer design is actually all together as a piece with the hands, so you don't have to always remove it. Okay, so for the torso, actually have two joints, and he can bend pretty much here, can also bend pretty much upwards. Okay, for the legs, I believe there's a pull down mechanism. Yep, the same like any Iron Man's. Okay, so it has more room for articulations. Okay, you can pull it back in. Just be very careful not to scrub off any paints. And then there's a double joint knee. Okay, and there's also a swivel, and the leg as well. There's a movable parts, a leg joint, and also a toe hinge. But as opposed to other character, the toe hinge is I think it's just moving downwards instead of upwards. Let's see. Okay, this is odd. It just allow downwards movement and no upwards movement. This is the most that it can goes up. There it goes down. Okay, so that's very odd. Okay, so for Mark 43, for Mark 45, I believe is very much the same. So I'm not going to show it to you guys here. So let's move on. Okay, so for the size comparison, I'll compare them with the Mark 85, which seems to be slightly taller than the two of them, as well as this Tony Stark figure, which I made. The body is actually from the Mayfax Kingsman body, Harry Hart, and the head is actually from Maniple, which is meant for Mark 4, but it's also good to have it as a costume figure like this, a suited costume figure like this, which I love a lot. Yep, so let's move on. So next I'll have him compare with the Captain America. This is the Captain America from Marvel Legends, the Walmart exclusive, as well as the Captain America from s.h.figuarts, Avengers Endgame. And next I'll compare them with the Iron Spider, which is, this one is from the s.h.figuarts and this one is the latest one from Mayfax. And next I'll compare them with Thor. This is the s.h.figuarts Infinity War Thor, as well as the Mezco Ragnarok Thor. Okay. And lastly, totally unrelated, I would like to compare them with my latest Marvel Legend Juggernauts. As you can see, he tower over them very much. Okay, so lastly, I would like to say that the final verdict for these two guys, for Mark 43, I'm giving him probably a 8/10. Yep. And for the Mark 45, I'm giving him actually a 9/10. The reason why is because, like I mentioned earlier, I actually prefer this design a lot more better. It looks little bit more modernized. Yeah, just like the sleek look of it. And for this one, it's more like the classic kind of Iron Man. If you are into the classic Mark 42 kind, yep, this is probably the one that you want to get it on. Okay, so yep, so if you are asking me whether that is worth to get these two reissue version, if you already have the 1.0 version, I'm saying no, because it's probably is almost the same figure, unless you are those collectors who likes to complete your Iron Man collections, or if you likes to have your Iron Man s.h.figuarts Iron Man collection still in a box, and then you might want to get this one as well, because the box design is entirely different. Or if you don't care about the box and you just want a Mark 43 and Mark 45 and you already have the old one, then I would say no, because they are probably the same, just maybe the slight paint improvement. Otherwise, you don't really see any substantial differences. Okay, so but if you do not have these two and you like to get your hand on them, then yes, I'll probably recommend you to get the the reissue version, which I believe it will look better compared to the old ones. And if I'm not wrong, the old one prices, the last time I saw them, is slightly higher than this reissues one. So yep, so it's no point paying more to get the old one. You might as well pay less to get the newer one, right? Yep, so this is all for my double review. Yeah, I hope you like it, and gives me a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment if you'd like to know more about these two figures, and subscribe to my channel, because I have new video like this almost every day. Until then, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.